Welcome on into the Auburn Sports Forum, your Auburn sports channel from a fan's perspective. Not just my perspective, that'll be yours as well because you're a fan. So, welcome on into the show. And we're going to cover a few things. And first off, I just want to say I am sorry that we're not live tonight. I had something come up. Some friends invited us some places, and we accepted because, we have to go do stuff sometimes. And it's going to cut right into what, our normal live time, which I mean, eventually we're going to move the live time from when it is. Of course, 6 p.m. on Saturday is probably not the best, time, but for now, that's just what it is. We're a channel that's growing and we appreciate your support. But like I said, we're sorry that it's not live, but at least we're going to putting this show out for you. So you'll have something to watch and kind of keep up with what's going on. And so, and plus I have some information to cover. So anyway, I just want to say I was sorry. Man behind the mic says he's sorry too. And we'll be live next week as well. And this isn't going to be a normal thing. There are going to be some weekends where this happens, and we'll try to either go live on Friday or we'll do the recorded version like this. So moving on into it, I want to talk about Joseph Ammons. I believe if I butchered your name, I apologize. Last week on the show, I basically came out and said that right down here is my email address, and the way I'm going to do the giveaways is just email me your name and say you want to be in the contest, and then the next week when we go live or I do the recording, I'm going to take all those names that emailed me and I'm going to put them into a pot, and we do like the dice roll, and we do the randomizer, and in the future we might do some stuff that's different, but we pick out one name, and we're going to send you a goodie bag from the Auburn Sports Forum, and that's just how we do that. We're giving away stuff. I have these little things right here, these little Auburn Sports Forum poker chips, and they have a QR code on the back that takes you to the YouTube page. I just got a fresh batch of these in, all my stickers, my Auburn Sports Forum stickers. Why is my camera backwards? Let me see. Now it's not backwards. Now y'all can read it. See, Auburn Sports Forum. There we go. That's much better. Sorry about that. Then you got Auburn Sports Forum. Then you got the QR code on the back. Got that. And then on top of that, I have thousands upon thousands of sports cards because I had a sports card store. I've been collecting cards since I was a child. And I mean, Auburn have been collecting for forever. I have so many cards I can give away. It's not even funny. Thousands upon thousands of any name you can think of in Auburn. And I probably have it. So I'll be giving those away. I have all kinds of other stuff. Like I said, I used to own a store. So, I mean, I have some stuff in storage. I haven't quite got it out yet from my store. I'll be giving all that away. So, I mean, the giveaways aren't going to be horrible. I mean, they're going to be good. We're a show that's starting out, but we're doing some giveaways. Be a part of that. The other thing I want to talk about is what this channel is about. It's about a fan's perspective, which basically that's me, that's you. And I want to get people up on screen with me and man behind the mic. I want to get y'all up here. That is the whole point of this. Because I could do a podcast, or I could just do my TikToks where I just talk about little things here and there, and I could do it that way. But I choose not to. I want to do the YouTube thing. I want to have a platform. People can come, get their ideas out, talk about Auburn, because that's what I like to do. Talk about Auburn. Same thing for Man Behind the Mic. That's why we became friends. We talk about Auburn. So I just wanted to put it out there that Joseph Ammons is our winner from last week. He is the singular only person that has emailed me for the first week. I understand it takes a little while to get some stuff off the ground, and Mr. Joseph has won himself without even a contest. No one gave him a run for his money or anything. So I have emailed Joseph, and hopefully he'll give me his address, and I'll send him out a goodie bag. So that'll be good there. Now, on to the little bit of news that I have. I'm going to show you my screen here. Share my screen. There we go. We're going to jump right into Mr. Braden Gordon. It's a four-star offensive lineman. Four-star offensive linebacker. He is Braden Gordon. He has locked his official visit at Auburn. He tells Auburn Sports he's going to have his official visit June 19th through the 21st. He'll be on campus. He said that he has visited Auburn multiple times, including most recently in his junior day early in February. He said he talked to it was. He said, well, actually, I'll get to that in a second. But he said it was great, everything expected. I got to keep building relationship with the new staff, and he loved meeting the new coaches. Gordon said Auburn is recruiting him to play buck edge position, and he start building some bonds with Coach Hutzler and with assistant Wayne Dorsey. Also said that he got to talk to Alex Golish. Said he was a really cool guy, real chill guy. But going back to Dorsey, which has basically been his main point of contact, he said that he basically him and Coach Hustler they've walked through everything, how they're going to use him, what they're going to do, just completely laid out a game plan on how they're going to use this kid. And he said that was really uplifting that they actually had a plan already for him. So he really liked that guy. He really liked that. Gordon also said his official visit for Georgia Tech May 19th to the 21st, and for Florida June 11th through the 13th. I am setting up ones for Kentucky and Miami as well, is what he says. Gordon is listed 6'4", 200 pounds, and the rival industry ranking him in the number 264th overall recruit in the country. So yeah, that's a really good pickup. While I'm sitting here doing this, let me get Mamba. Well, he's not down there. Never mind. I was going to pull him up and see what he thought about this, but we will move on to the next one. Where are we going? Get out of here. This one I found a little interesting because we all know that Auburn basketball is not doing all that great. It's kind of hanging on by a thread, kind of sort of. With our 91 to 81 loss in Starkville, it's starting to get really sad. It's a 5-game losing streak, and our coach says basically there's two things that we have to get rid of. And we have to get rid of letting other teams' best players beat us, which, I mean, I'm not trying to be funny or anything, but that's kind of obvious. I mean, wouldn't you think that was, when you're going to, I know when I used to play sports, we'd want to know who the superstars were on the team. And so we would make sure that we honed in on those people. So that seems kind of basic. And then it also said that we can't come out slow. We have to start fast because we've been down 13 or more in the first half for the last several games. So that's not good. Auburn's next test comes against Kentucky, which is coming off back-to-back losses to Florida and Georgia. I mean, I'll be honest with you, until this team figures out how to get their head out of their ass, I really don't know what to say. I've told y'all from the beginning that this team has – sorry, I'm trying to get that off of there. This team had potential. I mean, a lot of people said that they saw it from the beginning, and I mean, it's easy to say that. I mean, I know people are talking about it and saying that because we didn't have any bigs and because we don't have Bruce Pearl that everything is going to go down the toilet. But this team is extremely talented. We are missing some bigs, but for some reason they just can't get over all of their turnover woes. It's one game is this and one game is that. They can't have consistency with anything. I thought that they may be able to play together and get more consistent with the up-tempo playing, because that's what you have to play with. You have the guys the size that they are, and it just looks like that's not going to be a thing for them. So like I said, until they wake up and smell the coffee and figure out what's going on, there's obviously stuff going on in the locker room with Keyshawn Hall, some other people. So they need to get all that crap straight, because it's costing Stephen Pearl his first season. And I feel really bad for the players. I really feel really bad for Stephen Pearl, but I mean, that's just the way it is. Going into the next bit of news here, let me see. It says that Auburn is looking for Cody Sigler, a defensive lineman from Arkansas State, to be a major contributor. We want to see what he brings to the table. Against the run grade, he's PFF 71.9. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, this is a pretty good ad. I mean, I will say our offensive line, we've got a couple studs. that we got, in my opinion. The other guys are going to have to kind of play themselves into the role, and we'll just have to see how they do that. His pass rush grade is 82.3, so just a little bit better. But once you get into the 80s, uh, you're starting to really get in some good numbers. You're starting to get into the elite status. Once you get, I'd say, above 85, closer to 90, you're starting to get there, and he's at 82, so you really can't um, be mad at that. But it says if Sigler had been given more pass rush opportunities, he surely would have had more stats to show for it. Sigler was a one-man wrecking crew and a pass rusher. On the 7 winning Gray, Sigler passed the pocket and forced quarterback to move off his platform. Several of his snaps earned a quarterback pressure stat. Well, while he did not get a sack, he was the reason for 2 of them. The 3 losing reps were terrible, but he did not affect the play or get off blocks quickly enough for an interior defensive lineman, making a major impact on the 7 to 10 pass reps is a major accomplishment. Final overall grade is 81.9. You can't beat it. You can't ask for you can't ask for a little bit more, but I mean, at the same time, for what we're going through and what we're adding, I mean, that's a really good defensive lineman from South Alabama. So that's really awesome. At this time, I am going to get man on the mic up here and see what he has to say. If he wants to comment on anything I've said or has something else he wants to say, I'll just let him say it. Get him up here. Uh-oh. Wow. I wasn't ready for that. That caught me off guard. I'm just going to give you the whole screen. You're welcome. Go ahead, sir.
All right, welcome all Auburn fans. I'm here to talk about the baseball team. Got off to a hot start, 4-1. They're facing a tough matchup today against Florida State in Arlington, Texas, in the Globe Life Classic. They're going to be doing a number 9 versus number 10, which is going to be a good matchup today. Early on, had a sweep against Youngstown State. Our pitching has been the strong point so far. Unfortunately, in the midweek matchup versus the Bearcats of Cincinnati, unfortunately, our pitching, did do its job, but our offense just wasn't there. Had plenty of opportunities, and just couldn't put any runs on the board. And Cincinnati just added on late in the 9th inning, and we couldn't really control it. Lost 8-0 at home. Bounced back yesterday against Kansas State in Arlington, 5-1. With a dominant performance by Marciano. Let me play a video of his dominant performance. 6 scoreless innings. Let me find that. He had 8 strikeouts and 0 walks, which is a dominant performance against Kansas State as well. And we will face, like I said, a tough Florida State team, and then we will finish off against Michigan. But so far, we're off to a good start. 4-1, 4-1, going for 5-1 today against Florida State. So we'll see what the offense does. The offense finally showed up yesterday in the 7th inning. Late in the 7th inning, we were up 2-1. Got 3 runs scored in there. So, and then with the dominant pitching performance from Marciano, pretty much sealed the deal for the Wildcats. So, like I said, we faced the Seminoles today.
Let me see if sorry. It's my fault.
So if anyone has any questions about Auburn baseball, Butch Thompson, like I said, he's a great coach. once I get my War Eagle Plus up and running, I will be getting getting into his interviews and interviews from the players, so we can get to know this team a lot better. Because, like I said, up and down this lineup, this offense is really good. They just have to get going. They've always been known as slow starters. So hopefully we can get it going. This is in this content, this tournament. Normally, this is where we start picking it up. So, like I said, we're just in a big tournament right now, and see where it goes from there. Florida State and then Michigan tomorrow, and hopefully our pitching on top of our offense can carry us like it did yesterday.
Do you happen to know what that pitcher's name is? That has like, I mean, he's been tearing it up for us. I can't remember. I think it starts with a K.
I know Petrovic is one of them. He's a junior.
It was right here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh, my bad. What the hell is that? Oh, okay. Marciano.
Yes, he pitched yesterday, 6 innings, scoreless.
Okay. I was wondering because yeah, they were saying that he had a big dominant performance over Kansas State.
Yeah, 8
But
strikeouts.
but yeah, I really enjoy the fact that I've been really busy. It's hard for me to keep up with one sport, two sports. Now you're doing baseball, which is fantastic because I'm going to have to catch up with my work before I can start looking into that kind of stuff. But anyway, I really appreciate you doing that. So what do you make of this whole basketball thing we got going on? Five losses.
I mean, we've been right there in every single game. We fought back in every single game. We just can't seem to close the door on anybody. Can't seem to hold leads. Can't seem to hit our free throws when we need to. The one bright spot that I've noticed ever since Pettiford has gone to a headband, he has scored over 20 points, and he's been doing pretty much productive.
That's how you look at details, sir. You just say he's when he wears a headband. I love that. That's my kind of stuff because see, I like to bet stuff, and you're sitting here telling me, go ahead. That's just awesome. Go ahead. I like that.
And Keyshawn Hall had a good game, but unfortunately came up short in our last game. But like I said, we just can't seem to play defense against anybody. Our offense is there, but we're just giving up too many points late. Can't seem to close out games because, like I said, a lot of these games we've been in to the last second, force OT in a couple of them. So we just got to learn how to close games. And like I said, this team is young. Like I said, I expect them to make the tournament, but that's about it. But they have to start winning now.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, we'll make the tournament, but that's it. I mean, that's where it stops. I mean, their consistency. I mean, the crazy part is that this team goes on a hot run, on a streak. They get some momentum. They do their thing. I mean, they could make the Sweet 16 if that all worked out perfectly, and that's about as far as they can make it. But you probably are really correct with what you just said as to where they're going to be in, and then they might make it around, maybe, and then the next round they'll be round of 32. They'll be done. So if they make it to Sweet 16, that'd be a good run for this team. So, um, do you have any input on what you think? I mean, is Stephen Pearl going to be okay? Is he gonna get the
I
people in
don't
here
I
needs to
don't
get in
I
here?
don't like how people are saying he's on the hot seat already. He's not his dad. Okay, we need to stop with the comparison. Like I said, there are two different coaches, two different styles. So, like I said, he's got a young team. He just got to develop these players, bring in some bigs because we are lacking a lot of size. And we are getting out rebounded almost every game, and so, like I said, his main focus, I think, in the off season or when the season's over, is to try to recruit some bigs, and like I said, and then keep developing. Like I said, just keep coaching. Don't change what you are. Get more fiery over there. I've rarely seen Coach Pearl over there get fiery. I don't care. Get a technical or something. Fire up the team. Get ejected or something. What I mean, because he hasn't been fiery till this late lately. But that should be in every game. Fire up your team somehow.
Yeah, he lacks a lot of energy where his dad came through. I mean, he really does. I mean, that was my only critique of him early on is we were in some really tight games and he was just sitting on a chair. I mean, I was like, are you the coach? I mean, get up, get off your ass. And like, I'm not expecting you to run up and down the field like your dad, but like, I mean, you would think you would have some emotion involved in that. I mean, that's just me. I mean, if I'm a head coach of somewhere, it's because I want to be there. But it makes it look really bad. And then when you take that along with the way this is progressing, makes it look even worse. So we'll see how that plays out. But you have anything else you want to add to anything?
I did find those highlights from Marciano's thing, so if I can play that real quick, it'd be great.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
To figure out the Auburn ace here to full. Does ring him up there. It's another. Hey, you're going to sit down. We're going to let you figure it out, but it's hard to figure it out from the bench. 1-2 count. Process and execution, if you will, and it has risen in our game. Jake Marciano, maybe a guy we wouldn't watch at the collegiate level. He is dealing now 6 strikeouts on the youngie. Vasco over on first. Out in front of that one. Gets Maniac. Marciano continues to deal a 1-2-3 inning. Got their hands full tonight trying to figure out the Auburn ace here to full. Does ring him up. Big right.
So he was the player of the game for that game against Kansas State. 8 strikeouts, 6 scoreless innings.
Oh, really? Wow. I didn't even. That's fantastic, actually. So Auburn baseball's off to a good start. You did say we dropped one though, didn't you?
We dropped a game at home against a stingy, unranked Cincinnati team, 8-0, but they scored most of their runs late. Their offense had plenty of opportunities, as I was watching and discussed. We had runners on second and third, they had bases loaded, just couldn't get that big hit. Like I said, we're always slow starting in the offense. So our pitching's been carrying us. So our pitching's kept us in every game. So there's a lot of talent
Yeah,
there.
I've heard a lot about our bullpen doing really well.
Our bullpens are, like I said, a lot of our youngsters, they're not there yet. But like I said, we were playing Youngstown State and we were up 17 to something in the last game of that series. Get some time in there. So like I said, Butch Thompson has his team going right now. We just need to get that offense going. Like I said, good start against Kansas State. We'll see if they do against a top 10 matchup against a tough Florida State team.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we're going to make a little switch to football here. I've got one thing I want to cover. I got to sit here and share it real quick. Let's see here. Pull it up here. I talked about this very briefly on a TikTok, but I found it to be a very awesome article. Of course, I had one moron that posted that, couldn't you say this about any team? Like, absolutely not. You couldn't say this about any team. But I want to talk about DJ Durkin when he spoke in an interview. I think he was actually at the podium speaking, but it basically said Auburn's new defensive staff is filled with experience, including multiple coaches who have previously called plays as defensive coordinators. For defensive coordinator DJ Durkin, this journey through different roles has sharpened his perspective. He says, "I think life always helps you when you change the lens in which you're looking at things." Durkin said, "The things that you look at don't change. So sure, just for the little bit of time, it broadens your perspective." So basically, what he's saying in a nutshell is when you change from like defensive coordinator to head coach like he did, his lens changed. But if he stays where he's at, they don't change. So but it also, he goes on to say that it makes you a better defensive coordinator when you go back from going to the head coach back to the defensive coordinator, because now you understand what that head coach is looking at. You understand his point of view, so it makes you a better defensive coordinator. Um, also said when you gain all those experiences, um, I think if you go back to being a position coach, it helps you even more. Being a head coach helps you go back and be a better coordinator. Kind of what I just said. That mindset is shared across the room. Safeties coach Tim Banks, who served as Tennessee's defensive coordinator the last 5 seasons, along with the previous coordinator stints at Penn State, Illinois, Cincinnati and Central Michigan said the collection of former coordinators creates a collaborative environment rather than a competitive one. It's a wealth of knowledge in there. The guys that have been all the guys have been in different places, Banks said. We obviously have a system in place, but if there's a tweak here that you can kind of help them or enhance, I think that's the only that I think that's what helps us. Dirk's been very open to different ideas and leaning on different guys. I don't feel like there's a lot of egos in that room. Banks added that learning from other experienced coaches is a part of what drew him to Auburn. So to kind of answer what that other guy, whoever that guy was on my post said, Banks came here because it's very unique. This is a very unique situation across the spectrum and the landscape of college football to have this many former defensive coordinators on a staff that have taken the role of a position coach, a lesser position. But when you hear some of these other things, it kind of opens your brain up and realizes what these people are doing this for. Linebackers coach Brad Wilson, a former defensive coordinator at Wayne State for over 5 seasons and Indiana State for 8 seasons, echoed the theme of growth. After spending so long in one place, he felt like it was time to challenge himself. In order for you to grow, the importance of kind of stepping outside your comfort zone and stressing yourself from that standpoint was something that that he was excited about, Wilson said. When you feel like you're done learning, you're done growing. You probably are done in that profession if that's your line of thinking. Wilson said the move to Auburn was ultimately about learning a new way of doing things and continuing to evolve as a coach. So, again, another D coordinator that's taking a position role to try to become a better coach overall. And I think that's crazy. I mean, it's not crazy bad, but it's like it's funny how all these guys are kind of in the same line of thinking. He said, and then there's edge coach Coleman Hutzler, who served as Mississippi State's defensive coordinator for the last 2 seasons and defensive coordinator at Texas in 2020, has felt the impact of that experience since arriving. Says it's been awesome. The wealth of knowledge in the room, the energy in the room, guys that understand this conference, guys that understand what it takes to win at a high level. It's been a lot of fun with multiple former coordinators sharing ideas and perspectives. Auburn's defensive staff is built on experience. Certainly, Alex Golish's hope is that collaboration and fresh lenses will translate into results on Saturday. So I just thought that was big for our defense. I mean, it's kind of unheard of, all the defensive coordinators, all the experience on this coaching staff. And for some reason, the national media is just overlooking it. And I think that when you have someone like DJ Durkin that has all the experience he does, and all these defensive coordinators are coming to play here, all those narratives that we heard from all the other fans and even some Auburn fans that this defense wasn't that great, well, these guys seem to think otherwise. I mean, I know what I saw. I know we're probably, 10 plays away from greatness. I mean, as far as this defense is concerned, they did give up some long balls over the top and, things like that. But other than that, I mean, you got this team inside the 40 and they just became a brick wall. I mean, they didn't budge. And people see that and they want to come down here, like Hutzler said. No, I mean, Brad Wilson said he wanted to come down here and see what the heck was going on. Like I'm trying to, and that's what he means by making himself better. He wants to see what techniques is being used, what's being taught. What is DJ Durkin doing that's making him so good that I can learn this and then take it somewhere else down the line, because he had to take a lesser position to do that, and Auburn benefits from that. So, did you happen to hear that article or no?
No, I did not.
Did you? Did not. Well, that's good. I'm glad I went over it because some people heard it on my TikTok and some people did not. But I read it and I was like, man, this is fantastic. I mean, this is some good stuff for Auburn. Where I couldn't even imagine. Like I know you can get better because you can always get better. But like to understand what we had last season, it was a complete waste with that offense. But if we just get 5% better, 10% better, what does that look like? I mean, not even to mention if we happen to just become one of those, Baltimore Ravens 2001 defenses or 2000 defenses, or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 2002 defense, where they're just unstoppable. Well, what happens if that happens? And you mix that with the power of this offense, the simplicity of the Alex Golish offense when they have that defense to lean on. You know what that means to me? That means to me you can dial up some shit. Pardon my language. I just don't even know how else to say it. I mean, you can dial up. You know that defense is going to be there for you because I mean, if you look at our games, we'd give up one big play out of the whole damn game, or give up one drive out of the whole game. The rest of them, they made stops. They would make stops. And they wouldn't score. Well, the power that gives to Alex Golish and his offense is incredible. I mean, do they go for it? Do they not? Well, when you have faith in the defense, man, this could be go for it on fourth down a lot. That just thinking about the strategies that he's going to think of because he has that defense to lean on. So, anyway, you have any thoughts on what I'm saying, or you just agree with all of it, or what?
We had another article, that I read that I shared with you, I think earlier this week. That they added Alabama's offensive line coach as well after getting fired. Like I said, that's another help for the offensive line. It's someone else that's going to learn from Alex Golish.
Oh, I saw he got fired. I didn't see we hired him.
No, we hired.
That's crazy. I didn't read that part.
Yeah, he joined the Auburn staff, offensive line. So that's a good thing to learn from Golish as well. Another coach that's going to willing to learn under another head coach. So it's just more the merrier to help with our offensive line.
Yeah, I mean,
and anything we could steal from Alabama is a win for me. So,
yeah, I don't mind either. They talk all that garbage, and that's the other thing is for some reason it comes in ebbs and flows, but it kind of goes in waves. But this last week was pretty heavy with Alabama fans on my page. They all coming in to tell us that we're going to have 4 wins, and y'all getting all excited about nothing, just like the last couple of years. And I don't know. I feel bad for them. I really do. That is their existence. But if you don't have anything else, I got one final thing I want to say. You have anything you want to say before we wrap it up here? Because I have one final speech that I prepared for the fans here, and it's a little learning experience. Something I really like is history, so I'm gonna go down memory lane for a minute. But anything you got?
Just support the baseball team. They have a big game against Florida State today at 3:00 Central Time, which is here in about 35 minutes. So if you have time to watch, please do, because we do have some good young pitchers. Like I said, and our offense is looking to explode. So we'll see what we do today. Just continue to support Auburn sports.
Absolutely. And the other thing I was going to say before I read this thing that I have prepared for you, the contest is still live. We have a contest every week. I mentioned it earlier. So this email address right here, aufanatics.podcast@gmail.com. Just email me your name and say you want to be in the contest. And next week when we get on here, we will have a drawing. If it's just Joseph again, then just Joseph will win another. So we'll just keep going until we get that a little bit bigger. But as you see down here, it's aufanatics.podcast@gmail.com. I just kind of wanted to say that to get that out there so people can try to, win some free stuff. Doesn't cost you anything. No purchase necessary. We just appreciate you coming and, taking part in our show and watching our show and supporting our show. So we really appreciate that. So I guess without further ado, I'm gonna make my little speech here. You want to stay up here? You want to come? You want to which one?
I can stay up here.
Alrighty, no problem. All right, so I had this thought because Alabama fans like to flood my page. I've told people, and I mean it to the core of my being, I have never in my life ever been on Alabama page. I've never made a post on Alabama page. I'd never really clicked anything alabama.com or nothing Facebook wise, TikTok wise. I mean, of course I've scrolled past some, but I'll stop and partake and comment. And I mean, as I said on my video, I don't give a damn about Alabama. The only time I care about Alabama is when we're playing Alabama. And that's because we're rivals and that's what we do. But in everyday life, I don't care. I don't care. And so they keep saying roll tide to me. and they keep saying that they hope that we lose and this, that, and the other. Then the other thing they say is Alabama's a little confused. I mean, Auburn's a little confused. They don't know what their mascot is. Their mascot, is it a tiger or is it an eagle? I've heard that for 35 years. And I understand that most of the time it's just playing around and making the joke. But I have learned over those years that there's some people that really think that we're claiming two mascots. They really think that. Okay. And just for I'm pretty blunt, so I don't know how else to say it. For the morons in the back, I'm just going to say it. Our tiger is our mascot. Our eagle is our rally cry, war cry. And when you say it, it means you're a part of a family. That's what that means. So I looked up because they like to compare everything. So I looked up, since they get Roll Tide. Well, I do say Roll Tide every now and then, like when I'm using the restroom, I say Roll Tide a lot. But there's very few times that I've had to look up anything Alabama other than when we play them. But if you look up when we play them and you go back far enough, you will find where Roll Tide comes from. So then I got to thinking, well, if I was looking up where Roll Tide comes from, I already know where War Eagle comes from. So let's do a comparison. What the hell? Talking about the two most well-known things in sports. I mean, you can go anywhere in the country and say War Eagle, they know what that is. You can go anywhere in the country and say Roll Tide, they know what that is. I also think it's funny, before I get into this, that we are rivals. What other school says damn and then their rally cry? Or damn, you know what I'm saying? Like we say War Damn Eagle, and then it just so happens that our rival says Roll Damn Tide. I mean, I think that's kind of funny that two rivals say that versus just one or the other, because I don't know of any other school that does that. I don't know anybody else says, Mississippi State doesn't say damn Bulldogs or go damn dogs or whatever. Like, I just thought that was crazy that we're rivals and we're the only two that say that. So here it is. Let me pull it up here. I got my little thing here I'm going to talk about. Where's that? All right. It says War Eagle versus Roll Tide, or War Eagle or Roll Tide, which came first. So this is not a debate. It's not an opinion. It's not a rivalry trash talk. It's a timeline, and it's a timeline that does not favor Tuscaloosa. I was glad to see that, by the way. Auburn's battle cry traces back to 1892, not Bear Bryant era, not cable TV era, 1892, the first Auburn-Georgia game. Now, what I'm about to say, I understand there's a lot of different variations. This is the most common one, so don't come at me if it's not the version that you approve of. Actually, if you want to, you can email me down here with your version, because I would love to hear all of them. I know a couple of them, but this is the most common one, and I'm going to go with that one. So, a legend says a Civil War veteran showed up with an eagle that he rescued years earlier. The eagle broke free, circled the field, Auburn scored, crowd erupts, War Eagle. And whether you believe this detail or not, historians agree Auburn was using the phrase as a spirit cry in the late 1800s. Before modern football, before national rankings, before Alabama even had its famous nickname. War Eagle wasn't built by marketing. It grew organically from people. And here's the difference Bama fans aren't going to like to hear. War Eagle is not just a cheer, it's a greeting. You don't say it only on Saturdays. You say it at the store. You say it at the truck stops. You say it at airport. You say it anywhere across this country when you see another Auburn fan. And it means, I see you, and you're one of us. That's truly what it means. Now let's talk about Alabama. Factually, calmly, historically, and with every bit of restraint that I can. 1907 Iron Bowl, 6-6 tie in the mud. A newspaper called the Alabama Crimson Tide for the first time ever. So Auburn played Alabama in the Iron Bowl, 1907, 6-6 tie. There was red mud there. It got real nasty because the weather was nasty. Red got all over Alabama's jerseys. The newspaper columnist called him, or I guess the announcer. Some people say announcer. Some people say newspaper columnists that called him the Crimson Tide. That's where the nickname comes from. It's not from ancient tradition. It's not a battlefield legend. It's not mystical symbolism. It's a sports writer. And the chant Roll Tide, that didn't even fully develop until Alabama got good nationally in the 1920s and 1930s. So let's set this up. War Eagle, 1892. Crimson Tide nickname, 1907. Roll Tide chant, 10 years later, about the 1920s. They don't really even have an actual date or time or wherever. They just know that when Alabama started getting popular in the 20s and 30s, they started noticing the Roll Tide chant. So they don't even know when that happened. This isn't close. Auburn's tradition was already decades old before Alabama's identity even had a name. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. War Eagle existed before dominance. It didn't come from winning streaks. It didn't come from media hype. It didn't come from branding. It came from belief. Roll Tide grew with success. They had to get good. They had to be dominant before they had a nickname, before they had anything. War Eagle existed regardless of success. One is momentum, the other is spirit. One says we're coming, the other says we're standing. History does not care about trophy cases. History does not care about what happened first. And first, it was Auburn. And as I said, history doesn't care what happened first, but what happened first was Auburn. Before Bryant-Denny, before dynasties, before SEC was a powerhouse, before national television turned Saturdays into a spectacle, an eagle was already flying over Auburn people. So next time someone tries to argue this, don't yell, don't debate, just give them the dates. Tell them, before a tide ever rolled, Auburn already had a voice. Before the headlines, before the titles, before the machine, there was a cry that didn't come from dominance. It came from identity. One tradition was written in a damn paper. The other was written in a memory. And more than a century later, one still feels like a chant, and the other feels like a home. War Damn Eagle. So, hope y'all enjoy that little history lesson that we did there. I really kind of enjoyed it when I looked it up, the Roll Tide part of it. I just didn't know when they started it. And I just thought that would be good for people to learn that, Roll Tide is kind of weak. So, anyway, you have anything you want to say?
War Damn Eagle.
War Damn Eagle. There it is. All right. Well, I guess we'll end with that. I do want to say for anybody that is watching, are you on TikTok still or are you off of TikTok?
I'm still off TikTok right now.
Still off of TikTok. All right. You can follow me on TikTok at Auburn Sports Forum. If you really feel like it, you can follow me at JD Bullfrog. That's my trucker side. I do that for my trucker side. But follow me at Auburn Sports Forum on TikTok. Go ahead right here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. That way when we upload videos or we go live, you will get a notification. Don't forget the contest. Email is right down here, aufanatics@gmail.com. Email me your name, say you want to be in the contest, and next week you will be entered into the drawing. No purchases necessary. So I appreciate everybody being here. Once again, we are sorry that we are not live today. We had to record this because I have other plans that I got to take care of, and that is that. So I guess for everybody involved, for Man Behind the Mic, I just want to say thank you, and we're out. Oh, no, we're not out. Why am I saying out? And War Damn Eagle. That was better.
War
You
Damn
did it
Eagle.
better. You did it better than me. So, all right. See y'all later.